bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
Muhammad Wilkerson is one of the most versatile defensive linemen in the league. You can play him at any spot and expect big-time production.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
Check, 93's the mic. 93's the mic.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Fresh set of downs here. The one running back is Gurley.
3 down, 3 down.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. He's got time. Brought in an excellent catch there. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
They'll come out in the pistol.
Here we go.
On first down, Stafford here. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
So this brings up a 2nd and 2.
Check, 93's the mic. 93's the mic.
Stafford looks to throw again. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time. And it's 3rd and short.
The defensive coordinator came into this game with a plan to get to the quarterback with whatever type of pressure is necessary. It's working to perfection for him today.
And they're just a couple of yards shy of a first down here on 3rd down.
40 got 32. Watch safety creep. Watch boys, here we go.
3rd and 2, Stafford. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And he is going to lose yardage here. He went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to break up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
And now out comes Houston. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and felt there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Touchdown, Houston! Matt Jones with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And here are the Browns now as the offense comes back out onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They come out here in the eye. Again they run with Gurley. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Double tight, double tight. Alert, alert.
They come up in an offset eye. Stafford on 3rd down. Throw left side to the tight end Walford. A gain of 8 and a first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
The one running back is Gurley.
Boys, here we go. Yellow 20.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tap.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because
Here we go
they
now.
weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field, and when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Set! Blue 90! 57 Blue 90!
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he comes back with one complete. 23 yards on the play.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. They'll come out in the pistol. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And this is caught. It's Cooper. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
3 down, 3 down. Hey, check.
All right, here we go.
3 down,
Green.
3 down.
Leopard.
Check
Leopard.
Run.
And they try to sweep to Jones. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. Matt Jones on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Texans will extend their lead. And it's 21-3.
Touchdown City, baby. Touchdown City.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Here we go.
Check 26,
180.
check 26. Let's go, Steve.
Big lady.
They come up in an offset eye. They start out on the ground early. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a game. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
3 down, 3 down.
180.
The throw on 2nd down to Stafford. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Whenever I see an in route dropped, as we just saw in that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
We got 4.
Set. 180.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
When you put together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball. I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
They'll roll him out right, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. He'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. And there they bring pressure from the inside, and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
Check.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Surveying the field. And he fires one incomplete. So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down.
Watch 23. Watch 23.
Now let's go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's got time in the pocket. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're
Here we
wondering
go.
where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
13 yards there on the pickup, and it's good enough for a Houston first down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Hey, boys, we got four down.
Set, clean.
They go play action here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Set, 3-19.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. He's going to go. Mac Jones. Touchdown, Houston. Mac Jones on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points.
Fourth punter.
Check.
5.
Way to go, guys.
Slap.
Here I come.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great lead, and it's picked off. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger.
Now let's go.
And really nicely
Green,
done job.
And now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush.
Disrupted here.
I got him.
See if they stay on the ground for second down.
Tight ends left. Hey,
Again,
guys,
we'll
guys,
see
check
the
me out, check me
pistol
out.
here.
Here we go now. No. Check, Patriot.
Going to be met at about the 43. A 3-yard pickup on second and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on third and a little more than a yard.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
All right, boys,
Check,
here we go.
93's
180.
On first down, it's Gurley. And space opened up a bit. He's able to take this up past the 10. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And that run there does nothing but juice up the guys who are moving the football. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, people running it, actually the guy calling plays, you're almost jumping up and down in jubilation, aren't you?
Yeah, now you've got options on 2nd down.
And big-time options. You might want to think about play action and try and get something cheap right here over the top.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Just 1 yard to go here on second down.
Watch out, watch out.
One receiver left, three to the right. On second down, here's Stafford. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Here we go. Lady.
They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Lady. Hey, go here.
Slam.
Check.
93 is the mic. 93 is the mic. Get in the weight room.
Here's Stafford now on second down. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Lucky. Cut.
Set. 180.
On first down, Stafford here. And he's got his man in stride, complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Island over there. Single receiver.
Set.
Watch
Lady.
30.
To throw on second down is Stafford. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Aaron Lynch in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Field left.
And on 3rd and 15, we see the dime look, 6 DBs on the field.
Playing pass all the way. Here's Stafford. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. With it is Jackson. Called out a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Texans take possession. And now out comes Houston. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Key 8.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Over.
Switch.
Watch him now, Barney.
He's coming.
Gun.
He'll come out throwing here on first down. Over the middle to Evans. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the offense has it 1st and 10.
Single. I got a single on the slot. Here we go.
Green.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Finding time. Over the middle, Cooper with it. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And now a first down following that long gain.
3 down.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And now the Browns offense trots back onto the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Let's get out of there.
They're running now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we send you on over to Orlando, where we'll check in with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? And now out comes Houston. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys. But be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big play there on the catch and run. And even 40 yards.
Let's get it.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. One receiver to the left is Evans. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he will find his man on the outside. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
The lone receiver right is Cooper.
Blue 90. Gun. He's checking crash.
They'll set up a throw. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. Touchdown, Houston.
Good job.
Amari Cooper, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans add on. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Unable to connect on the 1st down pass play. Now it's 2nd down.
He likes to sneak out late. Watch 82. Here we go. 180.
Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Watch left. It's our time. It's our
Set.
time.
Here.
Alert 3. Alert 3. Alert 3.
Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch, counter punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield. They had a good rhythm. You see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure. We'll
I
see
love
if they dial it up this time. Again, it's Jones. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a fourth down. Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And the Browns getting set to go.
Watch left. Hey, D-line, let's
The
get
one
in there.
running back is Gurley. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Going deep here for Landry. It got his man complete. They'll get 32 yards there. And it's good enough for a Cleveland first down. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some injuries?
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Double tight. Even. 4 down. Even. You're set. Yellow 80.
And on second down, this is Gurley. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. He's able to get 4 back on the run, but now they'll have to find something here on 3rd and about 14.
Yeah.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. 3rd and long. It's Stafford. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. So he makes the grab, and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. On first down, it's Stafford. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Move.
Set. Move 15.
Back to the ground game here. Gurley. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. 7 yards remaining here on third down.
Three.
Set.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And Murray's kick is up and good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, I guess we're at the stage here where they wouldn't say no to any points, but I don't think field goals are what they're looking for here in the second half.
I don't either, Brandon. When you're down as much as they are, that's the sign of a head coach waving the white flag to me.
And after the made field goal, Murray back out there to kick this one away. And now out comes Houston. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams.
All right, here we go.
Run your offense. Run what you do. Yeah, exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. That was a good, strong run there. While it won't pick up a first down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe something they can build on as this game continues.
4 down. Check.
Here we go now.
Mike, check.
In motion left goes a tight end. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And hard running's gonna get him over the 40 to the 42. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Good stop, Chief. Good stop.
Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Second down to the offense, needing 5 yards.
Double tight. Hey.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Double tight.
One man in the backfield.
All right, here
That's
we go.
Jones.
3-19.
Out of the gun now on third down. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, second down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through. And that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. And the cutback to the sideline. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans continue to pour it on. And my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Tighten up. Pull it together.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
On offense, the guy that you want to have the best eyes on the field are your quarterbacks, so you can see everything pre-snap, and then, of course, as the play develops. On defense, oftentimes it's the linebacker. And on this play, his eyes took him right to the ball, and he made a nice tackle.
Lady. Check. 10. Check. 10. 4 down. Bang. Double right.
Kill.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9. And it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Check. Tight right. Solo out there. Check the outs out there.
Set. 180. Double right. Kill.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Gurley. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Here we go. 180.
Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. And it is incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action. Now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad.
Is that what
He
he
would have
made?
kissed it on the ground.
Gun!
Hey, watch the ship.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Two times. Hey, guys, check me out.
Now let's go. 3-19.
On 3rd down, they'll try and pick it up with a counter. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And his kick is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
Factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end. Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there. Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackle was there right away for a loss of yardage.
The one running back is Gurley.
Hey, I need one! Shit!
And he'll get it up the middle. And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all. As we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down.
Single.
From the gun on third down, Stafford. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
Man, I got you. Set, Blue 20.
Tight dog.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on fourth. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
Double tight. 4 down. Alert. Now let's go. Blue line.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes.
Double tight. Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down. Here we go now.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Houston, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.